Welcome to our Crown Jewel review, and for once we actually do it the day of a pay-per-view. What the?
It's it's a crown jewel thing. That's what happens when crown jewels at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Someone doesn't have to work till like 10 o'clock at night.
That's true. That's true. So we're just going to get into it, everything that happened with Crown Jewel. But before we do, Andrew, overall, how are you doing, and what do you think of the show?
Overall, fine. The show to me was good. A lot of people take these shows here in Saudi Arabia and they look at it through like a political lens. Look, I've said before to other people before, just take the political crap out, and just enjoy it for what it is. It's wrestling. Enjoy it for that. You never get like don't ever worry
Yeah.
about what a country's beliefs are because you'll never change it.
So my kind of rebuttal to that, and I'm not even going to sit here and debate politics. Listen, we all know the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is not exactly a prototype for human rights. But
Who
that being
really is
said,
though nowadays? Let's be honest.
but right, but that being said, why punish the citizens of Saudi Arabia for the actions of the government, right? Like that's kind of where I put it. So I take these shows with a grain of salt too.
Yeah, and to be honest,
Um,
the people there who go, they look like they have a
Great
good
time.
time.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just gonna put that part of it to bed. Let's get into it. The first match was Bloodline versus Bloodline.
What a
Solo.
shocker this started, eh?
It was either going to open or it was going to main event. That's how Roman matches go, right?
Yes and no, but mostly yes.
um, so it was Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga with Tonga Loa at ringside versus the reunited Jimmy, Jay, and Roman.
Yep.
So
I thought it was kind of interesting though that Jey Uso came out last.
yeah, so like Roman and Jimmy came out together, and
Yep.
then after their like 5 minute entrance,
Yep.
maybe even longer,
Yep.
then here comes Jey Uso for another 3.5 minute entrance through the crowd. Um, it was like probably 1:30 before this match even got started.
Meh. At
But
least in my
so so there was nice little nuances in this match. Especially early on, Jay had control of Tama Tonga,
Yep.
and Roman kind of like did the arrogant like tag me in
Yep.
thing, but Jay's like kind of fuck you and tags in Jimmy.
Well, Roman's playing that character of I was the boss for all this time kind of crap, and that's how he's playing it, right? So it's
Right, but later in the match, like when Jay hit the hot tag to Roman,
yeah,
like like the roof went off the place.
yeah,
I mean, so there was a spot where Solo hits a spike,
yeah.
and I guess Jimmy was supposed to break up the pin, but he got there about half a second late, so it did look like the ref counted Roman for three.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, it was kind of like they were able to
they were weather that
seamlessly
storm.
transition, and
Yeah,
then it took three spikes from
to put,
Solo
yeah, to put Roman down.
to put Roman down, and we both agreed like this was the match Roman can eat the pin.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's the right thing to do because this match basically, for the most part, just set up war games. That's really all it did.
So yeah, let's get into the post match. Like the
Yeah,
Solo's bloodline decides to start beating down Roman,
yeah.
and they were about to put him through a table, but here comes the Usos to help, and then they're individually getting beaten down. But here comes Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
and he starts fighting them off, and
Well, he kind of looked like he was going to like side with Solo by giving him a massive big hug and then
Exploder.
floater. You know what I mean? Like the past was so it's got a bit of a callback because like Solo was like Sam was very fond of Solo when they were in the bloodline together.
Yeah, like they were boys. Like
Yeah,
that was the angle they were playing. They were playing off that,
yeah,
like with Sammy talking to him on Monday,
yeah, for sure.
and so yeah, so eventually you have Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Sammy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And Solo's caught in the middle. Roman goes to spear Solo just as Sammy goes to haluva kick Solo. But Solo ducks out of the way, and Sammy basically just puts his boot right in Roman's face.
Yes, lays out Roman. And Jimmy's getting pissed at Sammy at this point for what he did, thinking it was intentional when it was clearly accidental.
Right.
And Jay's kind of in between, like before.
So I think now you can pretty much confirm that Sammy's eventually going to be that fourth member.
It's going to take a lot of convincing after that kick to the face.
Well, it's going to be like, yo, signals are crossed, but like, hey, we need a guy,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And like, hey, we need a fourth.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm interested how this part plays out, but overall with the match, it could have been a lot better.
It could be a lot better, but I don't think they. I think they're going to wait for War Games. I think the War Games is the match where they're going to go full throttle and everything, right?
So
So
I see this
this is
having
just that build up match.
I see this having three chapters. This was chapter one.
Yeah,
Chapter two is going to be war games,
yeah.
and then chapter three is going to be finally the match between Roman and Solo.
Probably at the Rumble,
I could see it being at the Rumble for sure.
or if they're doing,
Saturday night's main event is one of the other ones that they can
could
do
be
it at.
Saturday main event, yeah. Or if they're doing that day one stuff, because there's nothing really in January, right?
Well, that's the problem though. Day one, like January 1st is a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
So they don't have any programming on the Wednesday.
Hmm.
Um, although I'm sure Dynamite will run something with a New
Oh, for
Year's
sure.
flavor to it.
Yeah,
um,
yeah. 'Cause
but
they'll be building towards Revolution.
so if you want to involve Roman and Rock in the Rumble, like we've
We talked
suggested
about it.
before,
We've talked about it. We probably put we put little sticks in into a doll.
so you could also drag this to the blow off being Roman Solo in Toronto at Elimination Chamber.
Has that been confirmed?
Uh, I believe so. Like WWE haven't announced it yet, but that was what it was pretty much confirmed as of last week. I believe it was Wrestling.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we'll see what happens there with that because if
but
that's
I
the
mean,
case,
I know Sean Ross Sapp was talking about it too.
that's the case.
We'll see. We'll see. We barely got to the last one, buddy.
Yeah. Well, someone's birthday's around the corner, so that around that time. So yeah, that's a birthday present for Andrew.
Yeah,
You don't have to get it
yeah,
my
no,
you don't have to get it my fucking self.
no worries.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen there, as a more likely there, folks. Uh, as far as the rest of that Bloodline show, like Bloodline goes, the Bloodline there is like I said, we start off being as it was, good match for what it was. We're gonna move on though to the Fatal Four Way because that came up next to the women involved there, and you know what? This was a lot more entertaining than I thought I'd probably give credit for.
Well, if you've seen the Fatal Four Way last night, I mean,
Yeah,
um, I'm I seen this on Twitter. I think Bianca and Io Sky are destined to do this forever.
nothing wrong with that.
Like they are going to be forever rivals. I'm
There's
all
nothing
the way
wrong with
here
that.
for it.
No, like honestly,
I mean,
like
Jade and
Chelsea,
Bianca showed out.
yeah, Chelsea Green got the crap kicked out of her, and she's good at
Yep.
that. I think one of the best parts of the part of that whole match was when they all basically did a bunch of stuff on the outside, basically taking out Chelsea Green and Piper Niven the entire time.
Oh yeah, Kairi Sane hit the insane elbow. You
Yeah.
had Io come off the top with the over
Well,
the
and
moonsault.
then Miss Jackson jumped off a Lash Legend, right? And
Jakara Jackson, yeah.
I guess an attempt to do like a frog splash, but it was kind of like a boom.
Okay, so hold on. I did not realize how fucking tall Lash Legend is
Now, she's tall, right?
until she was in the ring with these guys. Because like she towered over everybody.
Goes like an Amazon.
Right, but I think it was a good match.
I thought it was good for what it was. Like it was a lot better than like other four ways I've seen. Like to me,
I
I thought this one was better than the one in Scotland.
oh the
Right? I thought it was one of the better.
the triple threat in Scotland.
Yeah, I thought it was better. You know?
So my question becomes who eventually dethrones Jade and Bianca so they can start their feud?
Who? I
Ooh,
who who
ooh.
I personally think if you're gonna do this, first I think you should like, share, and subscribe down below there. Doing the follow on Spotify and Podbean, right? Follow us on YouTube at DA Wrestling. All those other things there. Don't forget, I'm Andrew. That is Doug. But who I think they should do is, I think the best course of action would probably be, you know what? Have it be Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green deserves it.
That's what I was thinking too. They're gonna like fluke their way, or there's
Yeah.
gonna be like, or it's gonna be one of those things where like Jade goes for a big boot and accidentally gets Bianca,
I think
which leads to them losing the titles, and then they okay
I think that would probably be one of the best ways to actually do it. At least then you
because
could give reason for
what,
Piper Niven and Chelsea Green being the champions.
but that's the thing, right? Like that was kind of how they were champions the first time. Was like it was they kind of just kept retaining by accident or by Piper Niven.
Well, we'll get to it later on, but we'll see. But we'll have another champion who seemed to be retaining just based on interference too. So we'll talk about that in a bit.
What did we have next? Was it
We
the
had
women's?
Seth versus Bronson Reed next.
This was my favorite match of the day.
And to be honest with you, too, they really made. Although Bronson Reed did lose, which I think we did call on Raw. I will say though that they made Bronson Reed very, very strong, very, very terrifying to the point, especially after the match where he stood up after those three stomps, especially the one they called the super stomp.
Everything's falling into place.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They actually had me. I thought Bronson was just gonna fucking squash Seth after he hit that first tsunami, like a minute in.
Yeah.
And they got me. All right. But then, Seth got out of the way of the second one and it actually turned into a more competitive match than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I think the added aesthetic of the blood running down Bronson Reed's head was really good.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. But you even had Seth going like, "You're a fucking beast."
Yeah. Like it was.
Anyways, I don't think they're done.
No, not by a long shot. Not the way it ended. Like the fact that Bronson Reed was standing there after the pinfall, not 10 seconds later, as Seth rolled out, and he's just staring at Seth. Like, if you're Seth Rollins and you're looking at that, you're pooping yourself.
Mhm.
Like there's gonna be stuff going down your leg. Okay? Like that was a scary looking sight. I'm watching on TV, like that's pretty scary.
So actually, it was announced that there's a fatal four-way on Raw Monday night in Riyadh. I didn't realize Raw was in Riyadh. on
Me
Monday.
either.
Yeah, so like
So,
it's not going to be on 8 to 10. It'll be on like 1 to 3. Or
well,
it might air.
doesn't that
It
make
might air.
things inconvenient?
Well, it might air like those Smackdowns did from Germany and Scotland,
Yeah, sure. They might air
where
at
like
8 o'clock.
it'll air live in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah, but it might air at 8 o'clock here.
but it'll air at its normal time here.
You know what? We'll take a look at that tomorrow on my guide on the tube over here and take a look.
Yeah, because that might affect our.
Oh, it means I come home after the gym, throw on Raw, watch it, call you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how it's going to go. But
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty
there's
much.
a fatal four-way for the title there, and it has Seth
It's
Rollins in it,
Seth. It's Seth, Damian Priest,
Priest.
Dirty Dom, and Sheamus.
Okay, well, this is where I'm going to say Bronson Reed's going to cost Seth.
I don't know if Bronson Reed's going to cost Seth. I don't think Seth's making it to the ring.
No, I probably too. If I had to pick who's going to win that match, though, it's going to be Priest.
It'll be Priest or Sheamus.
Yeah, I don't see Dom because they're just going to slaughter Dom. That's just leading a horse. That's just leading a sheep to slaughter.
But I could see an angle playing out where Bronson Reed takes out Seth Rollins and then takes his spot in the match.
I'd be okay with that.
And then Bronson wins the match.
I'd be okay with that too.
I could see that.
Then Seth costs Bronson.
Moving on to the Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
Yes, let's talk about this too. Corey Graves decided to poke his mouth out there for a second and say, "This is like the Dodgers versus the Yankees." Is it now?
Well, at least in this one, the underdog won.
Really? I would not. I can see Nia Jax as like the Dodgers, cool, but Liv Morgan is more like the Cincinnati Reds.
Is that because she's so tiny?
Yes.
Okay.
And to be honest, she got thrown around here like a rag doll most of the match. And we talked earlier about how Chelsea Green had just won by and when they were tag team Chelsea, won just like weird circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here. Liv Morgan hasn't actually won that any matches without help.
So
this is more of a good heel.
So there's a couple things here. Again, I was talking to you about missed opportunities on this show. This was the first missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, like the
where,
part where
you teased another cash in with Tiffany Stratton, and this is basically Damian Priest all over again.
Tiffany Stratton came down looking like a bloody yellow Care Bear. Little outfit. Like, the hell is that?
And then both Dom and Raquel come down to interfere on Liv's behalf.
And where do they show up? Like, I watch them, like, where the hell they come from?
That's usually how it goes. Yeah, that's usually how it goes, though.
Right.
Anyways, eventually all these distractions led to Liv pinning Nia with Oblivion.
I actually got kicked in the face by Raquel Rodriguez off the rope.
Yep. And Liv Morgan wins the first Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Now, did you hear Triple H yesterday said that the winners of each of these are just going to get like big giant rings?
Yeah, so the winners will get.
It's going to be like Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, they mentioned at the end of the show. So they'll get like Super Bowl like rings, and the titles will be kept in Saudi Arabia to be defended the next time they're in Saudi Arabia, from what I understand.
And I believe the way Triple H put it is we're going to see how many like rings guys can collect over the years. So for anyone thinking this Saudi deal's coming to an end anytime soon,
nope.
Triple H even said that it's here to stay.
To be honest, with you 2 times a year,
$100 million.
It's yeah, exactly. Like nobody's really gonna turn that down. Like I don't.
They get paid $50 million per show.
Yeah, if you want to call it like if you want to call it blood money, then call it blood money. But like it's a wrestling show. Anybody in that position would take that. Don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Company that wants to grow more, whether it be WWE or not. We'll take
So
that $50 million a year. 100%.
so yeah, I'm kind of upset there was no cash in here, but I think that it's going to happen on Naya now more than ever.
Yeah. I mean, I've been calling
Because
that for a while.
this was the chance to do it.
Yeah.
This was the chance to do it with Liv.
Yeah. And they,
Uh, so
oh,
next up was
Kevin Owens
well,
versus Randy Orton.
we were supposed to get Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
Yeah. But we got a giant brawl instead.
Yeah, this match never got started.
No.
Randy Orton was doing his entrance, and KO attacked him with a chair, much like he did at the end of SmackDown last night.
And to be honest
And
with you, that's kind of how it should have went.
so they were like, Jamie Noble took a bump, Daivari took a bump.
Yeah. I thought he was in AEW.
Sean Daivari?
Yeah. He was in AEW for a bit of time. I guess he left and
He might. I think he was in the very early part of AEW, but he's been back with WWE for quite a few years now.
yeah, I probably was like the early part of AEW. I think he was there for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, probably. We also got a Kenny Dykstra appearance, although he didn't take any bumps.
Nope.
But surprisingly, Adam Pearce ate an RKO.
He totally did an RKO, and he like hard too. It wasn't even like a nice one. It was like a hard
He
one.
sold it. He sold it very well.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to get too far off track, but I just want to bring this up.
Okay.
So about a month and a half ago, Adam Pearce did an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah.
We love Chris Van Vliet over here at TA Wrestling. And he did say, like, if he had to get back in the ring, he could do it.
Yeah, I think he could. I mean,
because there's always that.
If you look at what Nigel McGuinness did after all the stuff that he's been through,
yeah, but there's a but there's always like the tease. Like everyone talks about that kind of fantasy match between Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, GM versus GM.
That's going to happen at some point.
I think that would be a fun like Survivor Series match. Like they each captain their own team, but they're actually in the match.
Well, they might do that for Survivor Series. It is Survivor Series War Games. Yes, War Games is the main thing there, but they still might have a traditional Survivor Series match this year. I mean, we'll find out.
They could, but this ended pretty much with going into the crowd and then Owens hitting a frog splash through a table.
Yeah,
and said that, he possibly broke his ribs on the spot in an interview with Kathy Kelly afterwards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this builds to we'll get the real match at Survivor Series.
Yeah, which leaves Cody then what the hell he's going to do.
It's possible Cody could take Survivor Series off.
They don't really need him when you think about it. We have the bloodline stuff there. You probably don't really need him for it.
Right.
It's like once they want to do the whole defending the title thing. I mean, then again, Cody defends that title a lot more than a lot of other people do. So,
well, that's the thing, right? Is because that's the thing. Like Cody's pretty much defended on he's had a match on every PLE all year, except for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, that was the only one.
And
it's been on every PLE. So I think if he took this one off,
exactly,
two out of the years, that's not bad at all. There's people who take 3 off a year.
Well, even so, he's still going to he still made an appearance at Elimination Chamber, and he could very well just make an appearance at War Games.
He may be the special guest referee for that match.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, he may be special guest referee for the match.
That would be cool. I dig that.
Yeah, so they might do that. But that was Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Like it was, like I said, it was all that was best part, probably for the best part of the whole show.
Let's move on. Let's move on to missed opportunity number 2.
Yeah, let's go LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. This is where I think Andrade should have won.
I think either Andrade or Hayes. I don't care. But they put in work all summer building this rivalry.
Yep.
7 matches just for LA Knight to beat them both.
Yeah, which makes I mean, it makes sense to a degree, but not like consider the fact that LA Knight probably doesn't need that title at this point.
Well, no, it's his first title, so they're going to let him hold it for a while.
Still don't think he needs it at this point. It doesn't change.
Right, but I think like getting that moment at SummerSlam, I think that was needed.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was needed for sure.
I think that was needed, but I think that by the Royal Rumble he'll lose the title.
Yeah, I think it should have been Andrade that won tonight. Not, I mean, I'm just because I'm favoring Andrade. I think he should have won. I think he'd be.
I think you're right. I think Andrade should be the next US champion. And then you
Let
have
Melo take the
Hayes.
title off him.
Yes, I like that line of succession there.
Yeah, I think that's what you should do. Have Andrade win it, and then let him hold it for like
A couple
the
weeks.
Rumble, to the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then Hayes takes the title off him off the Rumble, and then you could do a whole hell. If you want to do another slew of matches with those two again at one at WrestleMania, go nuts.
Yeah. I mean I think that Andrade and Hayes should spend some time apart now
Yeah,
because they've been linked since Money in the Bank.
yeah. I think Andrade should start feuding with somebody else on SmackDown. Same with Hayes. Like,
I think Hayes should, or I think Andrade, because Hayes took the pin.
yeah,
I think Andrade should carry on the feud with LA Knight
okay,
into Saturday night's main event,
fair enough.
and then you have Hayes.
You can have Hayes go after whoever you want on SmackDown. If you want to have him do something with get a tag team partner, do the Motor City Machine Guns. Go nuts,
Could do that.
right?
I think the Machine Guns, their next challengers are going to be Waller and Theory.
That's gonna be that's done. That'll be fast.
Please, just eventually, just like let Theory kick the shit out of Waller, please.
Waiting for that one. Besides, I think those guys here, I think Motor City Machine Guns are set to have probably a program with DIY / Street Profits.
They have so many fresh, like there's so many fresh matches with the Motor City Machine Guns coming in,
You
and
know,
I'm
though,
all the
too,
way.
just to go back to like the whole thing too, with the two with Cargill and Belair.
Bianca, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of good talent in NXT right now. Depends on what they want to do there. You could always have certain people on NXT take those titles off them too. Like, so not necessarily Jackson.
What about, okay, hot take.
Sure.
What about Julia and Stephanie Vakir?
I think those two are destined just to be singles people, but right
I think they
now,
could challenge. I think they
you
could
want to challenge
challenge
them in
for
a
it,
match?
and it
Sure,
would be a fun
absolutely.
match. Yeah, I think it would be a fun. Same with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade.
Yeah.
I
Or
think those are two fun matches for Jade and
or
Bianca.
if you want to even go power for power, you could do Jordana Grace. It looks like will be joining WWE very, very soon on a full
Yeah,
basis
after
with
her losing the title at Bound for Glory last weekend.
with
Apparently, her deal's up at the end of the year with TNA.
yeah. So she already made an appearance on NXT this week.
Hmm.
Having her tag with Zarya and the powerhouse team
Oh yes,
against Cargill and Belair,
yes.
that wouldn't be a bad thing either. Then you have
No, I.
power athleticism versus power of athleticism. It's more of an evenly strength match.
Which, by the way, outside of the fact that Bound for Glory ended with Nick Nemeth beating Joe Hendry, and a random JBL appearance. Actually, that wasn't even the main event. The Hardys won the tag team titles for the umpteenth time. Bound for Glory, I hear, was a really, really good show.
It was a really good show. Like I said, Jordana Grace did lose the title. So, and she, if her contract,
Everybody better stop sleeping on Speedball Mike Bailey.
if she, well, yeah, that match he had with Vikingo was very good.
Listen, please
Vikingo,
give me. You know what? Have
Vikingo
Speedball
needs to
come to NXT.
give him
Give
time.
me. Yeah, I know, but I know with this working relationship, right? Give me someone give me Speedball versus fucking just pick a guy and Javon Evans. Oh my god.
We'll do Speedball Mike Bailey versus who's the guy who teased with Axiom right now? Nathan
Oh,
Frazier.
Nathan Frazier. Holy fuck. And him and Javon Evans.
Oh, you know what? You send Dragon Lee back down to NXT. Have Dragon Lee versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Be fine.
uh, but actually, just on NXT, and then we'll get to the main event of Crown
Yeah,
Jewel.
I don't know how we just completely got sidetracked there because
I
I
know
spoke my mouth up about Jordana Grace and Zarya.
that's okay. No, I just wanted to mention Rhea Ripley is going to be out indefinitely with um, a fractured orbital bone, but they ran an angle. They ran an angle on NXT
Yeah, that's yeah.
where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez beat up Ripley with a bat and she was a bloody mess.
Yeah, they really blooded her up nicely.
They do not do color very often with women,
Yeah. Well, there's different era now.
but they just that sight of Rhea Ripley all bloodied at the side of
Realistic, eh?
someone forgot to tell Rhea Ripley the number one rule of NXT:
Uh,
avoid the parking lot.
you know what though?
So
Uh, looking into that injury right there, that injury could be up to 9 months too, just because if she has nerve damage,
mhm.
it take up to 9 months to even heal. But it could also be within a matter of weeks to a couple months.
I bet you she
Depends
shows up
on-
with a. I bet you she shows up with a protective mask like the Undertaker or Trish did when she broke her orbital bone.
Yeah, could be, but she'll definitely be off for a little bit first before that even happens.
Or didn't Becky Lynch wear one when she fractured hers?
Yeah, and I know Cody, I think, won War One too. Actually, not just because of the character, but he actually had one because of actually had a
He
problem.
broke his nose.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that I remember that.
yeah,
But
it could be a thing.
so, but you said it to me yesterday when we were talking about this. Um, Rhea Ripley's probably winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yeah. I think if she's back and she's okay, and then I mean, let's pray to God and the Dynasty of Santos, Amen. There is no nerve damage for Rhea. I think she's back by the Rumble, and she's number 30, and she wins it.
That's fair. All
Or
right, let's get to the main
27
event.
or 30, somewhere around there.
Let's get to the main event. Cody versus Gunther, and I love the callback they used in this match. These two are both students of the game.
You remember the Bret Hart pinning situation when how he beat Piper?
Roddy Piper, yeah, at WrestleMania 8, which, fun fact, until WrestleMania 38, WrestleMania 8 was my favorite WrestleMania.
Now thinking about that WrestleMania there.
That was Flair Savage. That was
That's it.
Hogan and Sid Vicious.
Ultimate Warrior came out.
Yeah.
I
But
remember.
it was also Bret Hart and Roddy Piper.
That was Legion of Doom coming out of the Harleys.
Yep. And anyways,
I remember that now.
so Cody Gunther with a phenomenal Cody went for the super Cody cutter off the top.
Yep.
Everything's super now when it comes off the top rope.
The thing they like to do to make it sound like it's better when it's not.
But Gunther, great awareness, just takes a step back and catches him in the sleeper.
Yeah.
But Cody, like we just mentioned, Bret Piper, WrestleMania 8,
roll them.
Just jumps backwards and pins Gunther. And to the point, Gunther was like, yeah, dude, I got caught. And they shook each other's hands after the match.
Wasn't anything bad at all.
I mean, I was I was very like mentally checked out of the show by that point.
This was a good match. This was kind of like what they expected from a Cody Gunther type of match. Now, if you want to compare,
I think they have a better one in them.
they do, but I wouldn't compare this match to like Gunther. Okay, the standard for me, as far as Gunther in WWE goes, I'm talking Gunther, not Walter character, the Gunther character.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not including UK.
Where's your bar?
My bar is the Sheamus versus Gunther match at Clash at Castle a couple of years ago.
Okay. I would say that's a fair bar.
That
I think this is just below that.
is just below that. This match,
Yeah.
I would put this.
On par?
No, I would put this match with Cody maybe here because I would slip in right underneath is Sheamus and Drew versus Gunther at Mania.
I would argue that one's better than the Clash of the Castle one, but
That's what
it's but that's my opinion.
that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Opinions are opinions, right? Like I would put that there. I'd probably put this as maybe the fourth great match I've seen Gunther in. Like I even think honestly his Priest match was a little bit better than this Cody match. Not by much.
I just think there was
There's room to grow in this match though. They did it one more time.
we hear me say on the show a lot, like when I think guys can go into another gear.
Yeah.
I think that's what this match was missing, was just going into another gear.
Well,
but it's okay. Like, I mean, the show ends with Cody and Liv celebrating together. And
no,
that was Crown Jewel.
you know what I think though?
So
I think though if it was reversed, I think if Nia Jax would have won, I think Gunther would have won. Notice I was champion from each show, right?
yeah.
I think Nia, if Nia would have won over Liv, it would have been Gunther over Cody.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which means our top 10 list was right. Cody Gunther. Right there.
Yeah.
Ah!
And if you haven't seen or listened to that, go check it out.
Go take a look. We got quite a few views on it. Go take a look at it. Go take a look at it on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Right?
That all being
Different
said,
type of
that was
type.
Crown Jewel. That was Crown Jewel.
Yep.
Andrew, get us out of here.
Well, yeah, I'm doing this here. Okay. For all those people out there here, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below here. I'm Andrew. This is Doug. Right? Take a look at us here on DA Wrestling on X. Also, if you want to follow Doug over there, maybe he'll follow you back. We D Lions 1991. They got me, AM Purcell, AM 1982. That is me. Mine's my own private one there. It's a lot of weird stuff on there. You might not want to go there and check there too much. Right? And you also have DA Sports on there on TikTok. Right? Don't forget to follow us on Podbean, Spotify, and somewhere around here now you're going to see another video. You might like it. Take a look at it. Might like it. Have a go, everybody. Later.